Hey everybody, it's Scott with Aim Backcountry Adventures. So I want to talk to you today about a new vise I got. This is the number 8 vise from Howard's Total Vise. So I got this vise because I was looking for a new bench vise. I started to do some gunsmithing work and help with my reloading process and just get a better sort of workflow going. And I got tired of all either the real junky vices that you get from, well, the places that just seems to destroy your material, or the plasticky ones that maybe lock with a ball and you put enough torque on that and they're going to fail. So I got a little tired of all that and started looking for good vices, something that would really help my workflow, help me work better, get my job done. And I know you often get what you pay for with these things, and good vices are cheap, I understand that. But I'm really looking for a good value, something that's going to solve my problems for me. And too often we watch YouTube videos and everybody wants to tell you that you got to buy the most expensive thing that's out there, the new whatever that they're hawking, and that's going to be the only thing that works for you. And that's not always true. There's oftentimes some affordable options or even cheap options that solve the same thing. So I went and looked around, and I really was looking for the best value proposition. In other words, I didn't mind spending the money if I was going to get something that I thought really solved an issue for me. So started seeing some things on Howard's Total Vise. I was sort of intrigued by it. Called him up and spoke to Jeff over there, and he was extremely helpful. So I decided to give him a try. So I want to kind of talk to you about what I got today. So this is their number 8 vise for gunsmithing, or armor vise, whatever they call it. But it's geared towards the gunsmith and doing that type of work. There's other options. This is the number 8 vise. He's got 2 other ones. I think he's got the sportsman and the gunsmithing vise. It's a little different setup than this, but a lot of the features. So this is the one I got. I'm going to talk to you about it today a little bit. So build quality is great. I mean, this thing is just really rock solid, well made, no complaints at all. I guess this is a painted finish. I don't know if it's baked on, enamel, what have you. I feel like you could rub it off if you really tried, but hey, look, that's aesthetic. The mount mounts to the edge of your bench, so instead of taking up all the top part of your bench like some of them do, it really mounts to the edge. That way it gives you a lot of free space, gives you a lot of room underneath it here if you want to turn things around and run it vertically instead of horizontally. Like I said, it locks up really tight. Fully adjustable, so got some big knobs here. I could tilt this whole thing to 90 degrees this way, or a little bit of a cant back the other way if I want. I can sort of rotate this back and forth here. If I loosen that handle, it'll the whole thing will rotate in here, and so I can move it around. The head also will swivel, so if I want to here, let me show you. If I want to loosen this up, I can turn this so that I'm going fully in that direction, or whichever way I want. One handle operation to open and close the vise. I don't know how much it is. You could probably look on his website. Probably about 5 inches of space here. In the clamps here, it's sort of a rubberized material, kind of like what you might see on a conveyor belt or something like that. It's kind of what it feels like. So it won't mar. It's not terribly soft, but it won't mar your work or anything like that. This is kind of one of my favorite parts of it. So you could see this inside sleeve here sort of pivots. This is great if you're putting in, say, a rifle stock in here that tapers. Instead of just putting all the pressure in one spot, this is going to auto adjust and kind of match that taper a little bit. So I really like that feature. I've worked on a few things in it so far, and really locked up solid. No complaints whatsoever. So so far I'm loving this vise. It does everything I want it to. I mean, we got it just locks up real nice. The build quality is excellent. Everything is machine great. The finishing is good. I mean, if you want to nitpick weld marks thing, you can, but at the end of the day, that's aesthetics. It's not doing anything that's going to sort of hurt this. Now, here's some good things about one good really good thing I like about how its Total Vise setup is really the whole system's really modular. So like I said, this is the number 8 vise. I got the mount that goes with that. He's got some other ones that do mount directly to the top, but a lot of it is the same in this 1 3/4 tubing that goes in here. Now I can take this whole thing out So I basically just turn this knob down here. This whole head will slide out, just leaving this mount here. And he sells all sorts of heads to go with it. So for instance, I got this is a, for a barrel vise. I have, this is my favorite, the quick change for inline precision. So you guys that reload know about inline precision and their mounting system. So quick change, I could take this out and slide it in here. And then now I can put in sort of my K&M arbor press, or my Short Action Customs Arca Swiss mount can go in there. He's got other plates. They go, a slew of things. You can, if you really wanted your standard Harbor Freight vise, he even sells a plate that you can mount that if something you really need to gorilla on or something like that. And like it's a very, like I said, it's a very modular system. And so I've gotten these two plates now. There's other ones I'm looking at. He also sells a track system. So there's a track you can mount like on the edge of your bench here, and with a separate mount, and you could slide around. And kind of what I was thinking, this is where I do most of my gunsmithing. I'm going to swing over here to my messy reloading station. But if I was to put that track along here and then go ahead and use that inline fabrication quick change mount, I could basically route, look, here's my coax press. I could do sizing here, and then I could run my bullet seating there, or run it down here by my progressive Dillon. There's just all kinds of things I can do with it. He even sells pedestals that you can mount separately and kind of move it around and take up your workspace, and kind of, it helps your workflow, right? If you're in a small space and you don't have much room, that modularity is a game changer. I mean, it really allows you to do a lot of things that you could otherwise only do in a big garage space. So, that's what I really like about it. Now, as far as his service, Jeff is terrific. I had a lot of questions. I called him. He was very friendly. He answered all my questions, made some suggestions, steered me in some different directions. And look, he steered me in a direction to solve a problem. That wasn't, necessarily to sell me something more. So, when I explained what I did and what I wanted to do, it's how I arrived at this vise. And he was spot on. So, no issues at all. I did have a little bit of a shipping issue at first, but I called Jeff, emailed him, and he took care of it right away. So even the service after the sale was terrific. Like I said, everything else is machined really well. I've run my inline fabrication mounts on this. It works fine. Little bit not quite as flat as the inline fabrication ones, but it's more than taken up when you screw down these locking nuts here. So no problems there. Haven't used the barrel vise mount just yet, but that's coming. So all in all, I've been very pleased with it. I can't say enough about his company and the way he runs it. And the products are really good. So let's talk about, at the beginning I mentioned cost and how we're always sold something. So, look, this vise isn't cheap, but I would say in the range of quality vices, this is right there. Not a whole lot more than the names you're familiar with that mount on a ball and have some plastic parts. This is infinitely better vise. It's just sturdier. It has more functionality. It's going to hold your material. It's not going to move around. It's not going to fail. And so for a little bit more money, you get something like this with all the potential for the modularity that goes with it. So, I'll give you the price I paid. I paid full price. Get paid what everybody else paid. Just north of $400. Got me this vise and the mount. I paid a little extra and did get the extra plates, but the vise itself was just more than $400. So you could see that it's right in there with good quality vices. And if you compare it to, like I said, some of the plasticky ones, those things are going for $350. So for a little bit more, you get something like this. And from a value proposition, I would say it was worth the money I spent. And I think that's where we need to sort of assess our purchases for the things we do, is what's the value proposition. I don't mind spending the extra money, saving for a little longer, and getting the right thing if I'm going to get some value for that. Not if I just spent money because I got the latest and greatest that somebody on YouTube told me I should get. This is a high quality vise. I could see me expanding this, and I know I will, with all his other pieces. Like I said, I'm going to get some things that's going to help in my reloading area, and just expand it from a work area that started into reloading. So from a true value proposition, this thing was worth every penny, and probably one of the better purchases I made here in the last couple years. So I've been very pleased with it. You know, and I think that's the conversation I'd like to start having here on YouTube: is what offers the best value, not, oh, how can I do something with, Walmart products, or, here, come buy this, fancy new, $1,500 Vise. And I've seen those videos too, which come on. I'm sure there's people out there that make a living at things that could use that, but guys like me and probably you, not so much. So, if you like that concept where we talk about things that provide value for your money, then let me know in the comment section. Like this video, and let me know what else you'd like to hear about. Like I said, there's all sorts of things that we could talk about. There's from cheap options. Here's a perfect example from a plastic boar guy rod that $20 that does everything the more expensive ones do, to what you get for your money when you do spend more. So Howard's Total Vise, look him up on the internet, call him, go through his website. He sells all sorts of vices. It's not just gunsmithing. So if you're, he has welding attachments. He has, if you're working on musical instruments, if you're doing just general garage work, he has a solution for you. He has things you can roll around, and he's got all sorts of things. So if you're in the market for advice, do yourself a favor, check out Howard's Total Vise. And I'm telling you, spend the money on them. You won't be sorry. Thanks, everybody.